Welcome back, Dynasty Degenerates. It is the Halloween episode of the GSOP Weekly Report. We are joined by Justin Zabinski, who, in the Halloween fashion, is scared of making draft picks, and we're going to talk about draft picks tonight. So, Justin, how are you doing tonight?
Very good. I'm glad I could get on and get roasted immediately. And you forgot to add one-time champion of the league as well, so I'll
Oh
throw
yeah,
that in there.
yeah, one-time champ of the league. Um, gotta tack that win in there while you can, especially with the amount of lack of draft picks you have coming up.
Yeah,
Um, but
but no 5-year outlook, 1-year outlook.
yeah, it's 1 year vibes the entire time. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be an interesting discussion because we're gonna go back through the draft classes, and you and I have polar opposite, I think, opinions of draft picks. So it is like peel them off my dead body. Like I don't want to trade them at all. And you are just
Yep.
like, that's the guy I want. Here's all my picks. Just take them.
Exactly.
So I think it'll be interesting to see like some hits and misses from the last couple years and kind of just how valuable air quotes are those picks for those rounds, especially for our league. So um, yeah, let's just hop into it. We're gonna hop back to the first ever rookie draft in 2022. 101. I think if anyone told you differently than Brees Hall to take at the 101 here, he was kind of chalk 101, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Stud coming out of Iowa State, and it's very similar to like Bijan and well, not as much Gibbs, but like Bijan and them coming out and
Yeah.
pretty
I,
much an easy 101.
yeah, easy 101, and I think he's kind of delivered on that. I mean, with his career, I mean, he's
Hmm.
definitely been
He's been a
scoring a
running back
ton
one.
of points. So
Yeah.
I don't think that one's a bust at all. And then at 2 that year, we had Garrett Wilson go, which, I mean, honestly, probably a pretty good pick. Like,
Yep.
if he was on a better team, like, I, I would have to find a hard argument to say Garrett Wilson's bad. Like, he's doing good with everybody he's got.
Yeah. Basically.
Drake London at 3, that paid out.
Still
That's a
another good
big pick.
pick. Yeah.
Another really good pick by
Both.
Hoagie.
Yeah.
Um, and then we had Jameson Williams. I think this is probably the first miss,
Yeah.
but
Considering what went after, but considering what he had there,
at the time,
yeah,
he's kind of balling coming out of Alabama. So I didn't hate it at the time. He obviously has turned into probably more of a best ball wide receiver than anything. Um,
yeah, it's more the injury coming out which bumped him down, I think.
yeah, but it gets way worse than JMO. Like, I mean, for
Yeah,
the fourth pick in the draft, you want something who's going to score a little bit more, but and also not gamble on his own games. So you know,
yeah.
it's all
At
good.
this point, he feels more like a God, who's the Falcons or the
It's like an
Deshaun
MVS.
Jackson?
Oh, Deshaun Jackson. That's a better
Feels like
actually.
Deshaun Jackson, where he scores a 60-yard touchdown or randomly pops off on weeks, but he can just score like no point.
Yeah, I think there's just so many people there in the Lions offense too. That's tough for him to like stand out. I think if you threw him on like the Chiefs, he'd be way more valuable.
Yeah, right.
So then I was apparently higher on this guy than most of you guys with the amount of slack I got for this. But Ken Walker at 5, I don't think it's a bad pick. Ken Walker's scored some decent points. I mean, you probably would wish you got a little bit more out of the 5th pick, but like, hey, he's been a starter for most of the time he's been in the league.
Mhm. And he started off hot rookie year if I remember it right.
Oh yeah, he was gassed up to like RB1 his rookie year after he had a
Yeah,
couple pop
and
off
then he
games.
kind of fell off and got committed and all that.
He's like always tries to hit the home run. And he takes a lot of negative plays, which I think
Yeah.
NFL teams hate. But he's probably in a different situation next year, so probably pretty decent. Um,
Hmm.
Chris Olave at 6. I think this is just a smash. Yes, I mean other than the Tua syndrome with the concussions, like
Yeah, it's just health at this point.
Olave is a good pick. Like he's one concussion
Yeah.
from being out of the league, but like he's still getting a ton of
Yeah.
targets.
Yep.
Um, then this is where it starts to go
Oof.
downhill. Traylon Burks, dude, if this dude was not made of fucking glass, like this guy will die on my team. I
Oh, not Arkansas. I was a big body, contested catch guy, so I didn't hate him
took a lot
as a
of screen
prospect,
passes.
but
Yeah, dude, he's big, fast. Like he just got hurt over and over. Like that
yep.
dude's a big what if. I mean, absolute L of a pick at 7. I thought it was huge at the time, but that one
Yeah.
kind of stings. But this one's just as bad. Christian Watson. I mean,
I
are
knew
they?
he was gonna be bad though.
Is there any difference between those two though,
Nope.
fantasy wise? Yeah. Um, this one, I can give some background on why I made this next pick because I
This is
picked
just
Kenny Pickett here.
necessity. I can already say it for you. I feel like this is just necessity. He's QB. It just had more value rather than like you knew he was gonna be starter
Yeah,
coming
and
into Pittsburgh.
I traded him off for a first later on. So like
Yeah, exactly.
it was
It's more
he's out of
value.
there. So it was kind of just hard to let him fall past 9 at that point. Like
Yep,
he was the first quarterback taken. I didn't really like him that much, but like he was like, all right, this guy will gain value when he starts. So
exactly.
um, then Jack absolutely smashed it here with James Cook at 10. James Cook at 10. We're going to see a pattern with a lot of these drafts of good running backs being taken in the back half of the first round. So maybe that's the tech is just take running backs with the late first. Because the
Yeah.
next two was Sky Moore and Jahan Dotson. I mean, Sky Moore is probably worse than Dotson. At least Dotson, I think, he's on the
The only
Eagles.
reason he went there was because he went to KC.
Yeah,
He went to any other team, he'd be like in the third round.
yeah, it was, that was rough. That was a tough pick. I have Watson as the 13th pick here, so I must have messed up. There was a 13th pick here. I could not tell you who it was off the top of my head, but we'll get back to that. To another L I took. David Bell at 201. I was convinced this guy was going to be a beast coming out of Purdue. Like, he
Yeah.
just looked like a
I
stud.
didn't scout him much, so he
Like,
was like Kyle Williams was this year in my mind, where I thought he would be the sleeper, and then just doesn't pan out.
dude, Cleveland is an absolute dumpster fire, so I should have just known that picking a Cleveland player.
Right.
But yeah, David Bell, pour one out, and then Jared hit an absolute smash here with Trey McBride. So, um,
True.
oh, George Pickens was the 1.13 absolute smash pick. Good pick.
Mhm.
That's who it was. So George Pickens, absolute stud. That was a win with 113. Um, yeah, Jared smashed with the Trey McBride at the second pick in the second round. That was huge.
Yeah, and then after that, I mean, there's not really we kind of skip through the rest at this point, other than like maybe Rashad White, but all
Damian
the rest
Pierce
were
had
kind
a
of
season. Rashad White,
yeah.
I mean, it's good backup. Pour one out for John Mechie. Desmond Ritter blows. We're never talking like that dude's just. I could have told you that dude was bad coming out of college.
Again, starting quarterback at some point, so
Yeah,
had value basically.
Antonio or God, why can I not think of this
Alec
guy's
Pierce.
Alec Pierce? Sorry, not Antonio.
Yeah.
God, Alec Pierce. I mean, do you ever want to play him? Probably not. But like when you don't play him, he's gonna score 30.
Hmm.
Malik Willis, pretty decent. I mean, when he plays as the backup in Green Bay, like he's gonna be score fantasy points. Matt Corral,
Yep.
dude's in the UFL. Isaiah Spiller, I thought he was gonna be good, but absolute jag. Pierre Strong, terrible. Tyler Rozier, decent handcuff value. Ty Chandler, dude, I have no positive things to say about Ty
He
Chandler.
can only
Honestly,
run straight. That's
he
about
he,
it.
he can run in a straight line. Um,
Yeah.
Wandale in the third. I'm glad I got Wandale on the squad, but I'm pretty sure he's just like worth a third still.
Mm,
But
that's true.
that's a hit. That's a hit for a third round pick in Wandale.
It is. Agreed.
Khalil Shakir after that hit for a third round pick. Kate Otten hit for a third round pick.
Yep.
Davis Price L.
Nope.
Tyquan Thornton. I guess he's back. Taylor's the only guy who ever believed in him. He had a splash this season. Um,
Yeah, he felt like a rookie this year. Like, who is this guy?
yep. Kyron Williams. That was a smash right
Of
there.
yeah,
Everyone's dogged him because he was slow. I should have listened to my gut and taken him. Much better pick than David Bell. Zamir White had hype there for the offseason. Sam Howell got to play, which was a dub, but also probably career backup. Oh, whatever happened to Greg Dulcich? He had like a great stretch of a couple games.
yeah.
Tyler
And he's just
Bidet,
supposed to have a yeah, yeah. True. Bidet is not even baddie.
dude, I don't know why you not want your Nassim to be
Keep it
batty,
as
but
baddie, man.
yeah. Um, then Jelani Woods. Jelani Woods kind of sucks, but I mean,
He's a
he's hung onto
physical
a roster
freak.
a
Just
lot longer than I thought.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot. What, one, two, three smashes, maybe four smashes if you include. Oh, heck, five. I'll say Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Chris Olave, and James Cook were absolute steals in the first. Like those were worth first round picks. So five of them. Then you can throw Pickens in that list, so six. McBride, Rashad White.
about it.
2 second-round picks that hit, Wandale, Shakir, Otten, Kyron, so 4. So we had, like, almost half the class was usable. That's good,
Mm.
but
And
once
then
again,
whatever fell for undrafted free agents.
yeah, I just I'm always gonna be a slut for picks, so I think it's worth the shot, even though I had 2 misses there. So
Mm.
I did recoup on the Kenny Pickett, so we can move on to the next class. Any overarching comments on the first rookie draft?
Well, what are your, I guess in general, what are your philosophies going into it? Because I do an ungodly amount of research on rookies for never ever having any picks.
I do an ungodly
Just in
amount of
case I were to
research
move up.
all
Yeah,
the time. Dude,
yeah,
I probably listen to Dynasty Fantasy Football at least 330 days a year. Something about it. Like, even on weekends, I listen to this when I drive around the car. Like, that's all I do is like listen to this. So I love watching tape. I love watching, learning about rookies. That's my favorite part of Dynasty, other than just absolutely extorting people on the clock. Um,
mhm,
it's my favorite part. Like I do a ton of research. That's why I love making the rookie picks. I'm always down to move up and around, and I can't. It hurts me to trade my picks away because I know how much fun I have during the draft.
that's true. I do have fun like researching and knowing these guys like where I would want to get them, and I lean in like when I'm going to draft someone, I lean more towards analytics. Uh, so I'm looking for certain metrics to hit, based off of where you played, and then I have like separate metrics in terms of efficiency and stuff like that. But I don't watch any tape. I go all off of analytics. So it'd be interesting to see if I actually do keep my picks one year. Like I have rankings every single year that I basically never use because I don't have picks. But um, to see how I would have drafted if I do actually end up with picks one year.
Yeah, it's my favorite part about playing in Dynasty, and I love. I really got into college football after I met Peyton, and just watching A&M, and that was kind of just when we started the Dynasty League too. So I've really watched a lot of college football, and like I've seen these guys play, and dude, there's something about it. It's so much fun. So I can't get enough. I'll just go turn on random guys' highlights, especially like third round sleepers are like where I aim for everything. Like
Mm.
the top guys are kind of like I know who these guys are. It's finding like those weird dudes, like Tank Dell out of Houston.
Where I
We'll
live,
get into that.
where I live. Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely a balance of other people's opinions, stats, tape, just like kind of situation where they're getting drafted too, right? Like that's kind of a big thing. Like
I Yeah, I would agree. I mean, Isaac had talked about it, and I kind of had to disagree with his take where I don't think landing spot matters as much as people think. I think
it does for quarterbacks,
yes,
but it can't
quarterbacks are
more.
kind of their own thing, though. In the tight ends are just so volatile. You just kind of get sometimes get lucky. But I feel like opportunity and then talent, like as long even if you're on a shitty team, like if you're with Garrett Wilson, like I took if you took talent and then as long as he's got the opportunity to be wide receiver one there and no other competition, like I don't care if you're on a crappy team if you get 15 targets and
Oh yeah,
7 catches for 100 yards, right? So
yeah, but you have to be able to be like the guy on that team, right? Like Jordan
yeah,
Addison getting
exactly.
drafted
So
to
that's
the
where I lean towards
Vikings.
talent.
Like we
Yeah.
know, like Jordan Addison's good. He's not better than Justin Jefferson, but he's good.
Right.
But it so opportunity does matter, or like landing spot, but I think it just matters differently for each position.
I think people overvalue it though,
Oh yeah,
as you
Clyde
can see with
Edwards-Helaire
Sky
landing
Moore
at
pick,
KC,
right?
Sky Moore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, oh my god, people are drafting the guy just because of the situation, and then
Yes.
there's a difference in like drafting the guy despite the situation.
That's why I'm saying like I lean towards more talent and like, the analytics part versus so they always saying like I have rankings before people get landing spots, right? So I feel like I might move someone up up or down 1 or 2 spots, but it shouldn't move your rankings,
Y-
flop any of them.
Yeah, but running back, I think especially is probably the most landing spot dependent. Like if there's a guy there or not,
Mm.
right? Like Woody Marks
You can
is getting touches because
you can
there's literally not a
assume,
body.
yeah. Well, that's just handcuff stuff, though. Like you
Eh.
didn't draft Woody Marks because he was going to be the guy in Houston or anything.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
could see that in like back end of the round, just
I
because he
think
landed somewhere.
if you have the confidence enough to take a guy in like the top 5 of a rookie draft, like landing spot probably doesn't matter that much. But if you're like trying to find somebody in the 3rd round, like you're trying to find a guy that's going to get on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yep.
but no, that's a good point. Um, we can continue to look at that throughout this draft class coming up, but we'll move on to the 2023 draft. Um, another running back at 101, Bijan, absolute stud. Lock it in. If anyone is taking anybody over Bijan Robinson in this draft, they should have just been wrong. Like he was the one, he is the one. RB1 overall. Like this dude's a beast. Um, Anthony Richardson, bold shot by Tate, but also not that bad looking at the next 3 picks, or at least the next 2. Quarterback, it
Yeah.
went Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. Anthony Richardson definitely the worst of them, but Bryce Young is having his struggles in Carolina and also just doesn't look that good. CJ Stroud is like a kind of just like a statue in the pocket. Like he's a pocket passer quarterback. Anthony Richardson definitely offered the most upside at the moment, but also was the biggest risk. So
Yep.
I think it was kind of disappointing from like all of them except maybe CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud probably plays in the league much longer than the other 2.
Yeah, he'll be a starting quarterback for another 10 years.
Yeah, he can sling it. So
Yep.
I think his just upside's a little limited, but CJ Stroud at 4 is a good pick. The other 2, I don't. Someone told you could have the 103 in the 2026 draft or Bryce Young. You're taking the pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So maybe one day Anthony Richardson gets another chance and doesn't decide to hurt himself again. Like I don't know what this
Up
dude's
to
doing at this
Minnesota,
point.
baby.
Oh, dude,
AOC.
he's pretty bad. He,
Yeah, he
dude,
is.
he's pretty bad. But then an absolute smash at Jameer Gibbs at 5. Like, dude's outside of Bijan, probably the second best running back in the league. So, absolute
Yeah.
win. Um, Matt taking JSN at 6. Struggle first year, but an absolute smash. Dude's a beast. I got him in another league for the 110 in 2024, and to thank you. And he's absolutely crushing it right now. So,
Yep.
Jordan Addison, 107. I mean,
I remember this trade.
traded with
It
Hoagie.
was it
I,
was Hoagie picked to Jordan Addison,
and he took
and
my second
then
round pick. And then he burned
yeah,
that second round pick on Jalen Hyatt, so I wasn't even that upset. Um,
yeah,
yeah, but no, Jordan Addison's been good. I mean, not like top tier, but he's like a low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3.
yeah.
Like,
Yep, exactly. You
if I
can
get
flex
that,
play every week.
yeah. Or honestly, a wide receiver 3 in our league because we have 3 starting wide receivers.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so good. QJ showed a couple flashes this year. Maybe he's a
Don't buy
flex
it.
play. I don't buy it either, but maybe as long as he stays on the Chargers, I don't think Keenan Allen is coming back. So maybe he
No.
just gets targets by default.
Yeah. Trade as soon as possible, Hoagie.
Yeah. Um, Zay Flowers at 9. I think Zay Flowers is just like a slightly worse Jordan Addison just for fantasy production, just because of where he's at. But like,
Yeah.
I think he's wide receiver 3. That's a good pick at 109. I like Zay Flowers. I don't know if I'd trade the 109 to get Zay Flowers, but like,
No, that's the thing.
if
It's
someone did, I wouldn't be like, oh, dude, you just got ripped off.
yeah.
So, and then the RB3 in overall in Dynasty, in my opinion, Devon A-Chain at 10. This is probably the best running back draft we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's great.
Bijan Gibbs and A-Chain, like,
Plus
A-Chain's
Chase
a
Brown in the second.
beast, dude. He's a
Yeah.
beast. Um, and then we see kind of just the next guy, Will Levis, at 11. Kind of shit. Dude, Will Levis is just bad. Like, there was a chance to sell Will Levis, but Jack just kind of held him through his starting phase. He'd be one of those
Yeah.
guys that you had to try to trade. Michael Mayer at 12. I picked Mayer at 12. I still think Michael Mayer is good. I just don't see him as like a big, huge tight end in fantasy football. I think he's a much better IRL tight end than like fantasy
Yep.
tight end, which
I
is
think I
unfortunate.
got screwed with the.
Oh, he
Oh,
absolutely
not
got
really.
boned with Bowers being there.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that, the fact that that happened to him kind of made him just worth dust in my mind. But at least I have
Yep.
Bowers, so it's not the end of the
Mhm.
world. But Kincaid was the 113 in this. Kincaid, and he's pretty decent. He's a starting tight end. You can play him in fantasy. Like, I mean, basically a second round pick. That's a win. Um, Charbonnet, 201. I'm gonna say I'm gonna count it as a hit because he's still in the league and like threatening Kenneth Walker for his job, but like he's like right on the fringe of me not caring about him. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of on the not caring part.
Yeah. Kendra at 202. Kendra's had one of the weirdest careers I've ever seen.
Yeah. He
His
pissed
head
off his
coach
coach.
absolutely hated him for
Yeah.
the first couple of years. Started to look pretty decent this year and then blew out his ACL.
Yep.
So I would say jury's out on Kendra. He's still 20. He'll be 24 coming back from this injury because he came in the league at 20. Like he was young. So probably still an L, but like he might have some life in him, especially with I don't think Kamara plays next year. So
Yeah. He's got one shot next year basically to see if he can come back decent from injury, and then
yeah, then
if
he's
they even draft a running back, then he's kind of
he did
uh,
win this.
uh,
He did win the backup job. They had like four running backs there this offseason.
yeah.
So Darnell Washington, I think a much better. I was questioning this
Yeah.
pick was kind of sus at the moment, but also like he's a much better in real life tight end. Like if we had points per pancake, Darnell Washington might be a first round pick.
Yeah.
So
He's a guy I would never draft because again they were showing highlights of him blocking on half of his highlights. So like
well, he did
not a
like
guy I want on my fantasy team.
he absolutely dominated the sled at the combine.
I know that's what they kept showing over and over again, where he's like practically picking up the sled while all the other tight ends are just like
It's
barely
impressive.
moving it.
That dude's gonna
It
be on the
is.
field. Like I mean, and
If I see
it's
that as a highlight for my tight end, I'm like, sorry,
but you knew he was gonna
off the
get on the
squad.
field, like regardless of where he was playing. Um, yeah, Jonathan Mingo kind of sucks. Sam Laporta, huge dub at the 205, top five tight end in the league, big win. Rashi Rice at the 2-6, win.
My draft crush.
I wish he would stop crashing on the highway by my house, but hopefully he can stay out of that. Um, Marvin Mims, maybe a better actual like special teams guy than an actual wide receiver. Um, Jalen Hyatt, a deep, you randomly see a deep ball thrown to him, and then he barely misses it, which is kind of depressing. So that's an L. Josh Downs at 209. I can't really hate Josh Downs here. Like he's a number two receiver on his team, but also like just not great. If you'd have told
Yeah.
me Wandale Robinson was having a better season than Josh Downs this year, I would have laughed at you at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
But they're kind of just the same dude.
Yeah. I mean, he gets targets, he gets points, like good value for
Yeah. Chase Brown at 210. He came back to life this
my
week.
first pick.
Your
My
first
first
pick.
pick in 2 drafts.
Nice. And then you traded him away before he blew up.
Yep. And I traded back for him. I
Hendon
don't know what I
Hooker.
want.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Chase Brown's good. I mean, it helps
Yeah.
when his offense isn't completely inept.
Yep.
So, Hendon Hooker, L. Tank Bigsby had a minute there. He showed something, and then he got traded to Philly and just got absolutely ethered by Saquon.
Yeah. Done.
Um, Roshan Johnson, he's bad. Deuce Vaughn's bad. Tajay Spears in the third. He says a playable
He's
week.
ascending. Yeah.
Not sure he has any knees still, but Zach Evans.
Yeah.
I was much higher on Zach Evans. I wish Zach Evans.
He'd be very good.
Same.
Well, you think about Kyron too, and you're
Yes.
like at last, and then that would
Yeah.
be a good handcuff, and
Nothing.
not turn out that way.
Keyshawn Booty. He sucked his first couple years, but he's coming back now. I mean,
Yeah,
he
somehow.
was he was sick at LSU and then he slept with the trainer and then was forced to go to the NFL. So that was a weird circumstance for
He,
him.
yeah, he was in my sleeper, and I was hoping to get him as a UDFA, but then he kind of just sucked, so I forgot about him, and then he came back this year and was
Yeah,
his analytics look really good coming out of LSU.
yeah. But also kind of a crazy
Then
person. So
yeah, I think so.
yeah. Um, Tank Dell, pour one out for the guy. That was an absolute dub
R.I.P.
of a third round pick. So
Or
uh,
to first.
I moved it to a first. That's if there's any player I ever drafted in the third, if you're ever willing to give me a first for them, the answer will always be yes. So
Yeah,
um, Evan Hull stayed in the league for a little bit, didn't really do anything. Luke Musgrave, kind of just second fiddle to Tucker Craft. Michael Wilson, I don't think Michael Wilson's that good. Um,
nope.
Cedric Tillman had some moments, but I'm just still not convinced Cedric Tillman's good. Stetson Bennett's still on the Rams, but absolutely sucks. Izzy Abanikanda, he just returns kicks. It's kind
Yep.
of his role. So um, this is probably outside of the quarterback position. This draft was loaded with talent.
Yeah. Very good draft.
Gibbs, JSN, Addison, Flowers, A Chain, um, Bijan,
Puka.
Puka, Charbonnet,
Rice.
Laporta, Rice, like Josh Downs, Chase Brown, Tank Dell until he died. Listen, Um,
Basically, if you took a quarterback in the draft other than C.J. Stroud, you lost. But if you took any other position, you had a pretty good shot.
yeah, that's very true. So the QB class kind of sucked, but the running back class was absolutely insane. Another hit at running back at 110 might be a sweet spot for running backs.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
so yeah, but I mean, we see kind of a similar amount of hits as last year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hits out of this draft at 36, so a little less than 50%, but it's definitely
Yeah.
the third round was very weak in this season. But if you add Puka into this, that's huge. So yeah, so it seems to be like kind of 50-50. Some of that one was definitely more top heavy than the
Yeah.
first year. But yeah, so when you're going about trading for like when you're sending all your picks away, Justin, because this is not a feeling I ever have, so I'm asking a genuine question. What
Mm.
are you like? Are you just willing to pay 120% of the draft price just to get a player once you see them that they're good? Or like what I as we see the hit rate is just shy of 50%, are you just like you want just like 100% locked in and you're willing to pay more for it? Or like what's the strategy here?
Somewhat. So part of it was me being naive because joining this league was the first dynasty league I've ever been in. So first I had to make a couple of crappy trades before I realized, oh, draft picks kind of matter and kind of figuring out the value of draft picks versus player. Because I strictly remember one of my first trades being with you, Terry McLaurin, and I traded with Mike Evans in a first. Oh, this is a great trade. Like I'm getting Terry because again I had like draft crushes on people and I just can't let them go. And then looking back, it's like yeah, Mike Evans with 1,000 yards for the next 5 seasons versus Terry's up and down quarterback situation. Plus the first on top of that was just a terrible, terrible trade. Um, so Mitch, I can hear Mitch smiling through
I
the
made so many
microphone right
trades
now.
that first year, dude. Like I made so like
Yeah,
the first and second year of this league, I made so many trades just to like grind the edges every single second. And I
yeah.
vividly remember trading away Amon-Ra St. Brown, a first and a second, for Brandon Ayuk. But that I was so like
That makes me
I
feel
thought
better.
Amon-Ra was gonna be good, but I didn't think he was gonna be this good. And I
That
knew
guy,
Brandon
yeah.
Ayuk was good, but I also didn't hold on to Brandon Ayuk at all. Like I traded him immediately, so I ended up trading away Amon-Ra for like 2 firsts. But it took me a lot of work to do that. I probably could have got more for Amon-Ra.
Mhm. Very true.
So
But I guess back to your original question. So a lot of it is why I do so much research. Too is obviously I don't have picks, but once I do get picks, generally it's someone who I liked in the draft. Um, and then obviously have a need at the position, whether it's running back, quarterback, wide receiver, and then part of it is too like the known risk versus the unknown risk of a draft pick. So if I lean towards all obviously competing every year the last 4 or 5 years, uh, back end first hit rate significantly lower and more volatile than obviously having a guy who I've researched and scouted, and then whether or not I've seen tape or not in the NFL. Like I can't even remember who I traded for the last couple of years, but like Tet, obviously, like I took me like one game just to see target share and all that type of stuff before grabbing him and committing to sending everything over for him. Um, but so like part of it is known risk versus the volatility of having a draft pick, and potentially drafting a Will Levis at 111 or a Mayer who you think is going to be good and then gets
But it could
a
be a
tight end
boat.
thrown on top of him over the top.
The mystery box could be a boat, Justin. Just because there's a boat in
It
front
could
of you
be
doesn't mean the mystery box can't
because
also be a boat.
I have confidence in my drafting ability. It's just like looking every year if I don't feel like I have that many holes to fill, because obviously draft picks supplement your back end of your roster. If you do hit on your first and second and throw a few thirds in there with handcuffs, like that is how you supplement and keep your roster um, younger and churning in obviously fantasy points ideally. But if you do miss on a couple, like you could have already had, Ted, who I feel like is pretty much guaranteed to be a wide receiver one in my mind. To trade 1, 2, and 3 and guarantee that versus if you were to miss on your first and second, and then just have a, you know, handcuff running back at your third round. That's like, you know, you wasted the picks basically and could have had something. So
Yeah, but Justin, it could be a boat.
could be.
uh, so that's kind of
I
what I
got a lot of
thought.
boats over here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's good feedback. I think it's definitely a way to play. I just love drafting players. I don't mind being wrong. It's so nice when you're right. It feels so good. So,
Well, that's how I
um,
feel about like third rounds, undrafted free agents, like
okay, you
back
hit
end
on
type of
Puka
guys.
one
That's
time.
fun for me.
Never heard
I've
it again.
drafted Isaiah Pacheco, undrafted free agent, Chase Brown, obviously. I've traded a bunch of guys away, but like I'm pretty good at finding talent in back end of third UDFA territory every single year.
What'd you think of the auction draft for the rookie draft this year?
Very fun. I
Very
do
fun.
that every single year.
Yep.
Yep,
Okay. Agreed. It was a great addition. I'm shocked we pulled it off, but that
agreed.
was electric. That was so much fun.
I don't know how like if everyone was like 100% involved, obviously, but I think we had at least 8 to 10 guys that were
Everyone was on, so
there.
everyone just kind of
Yeah,
blew. Some people blew their budget really early, so
right.
but no, it was good. But yeah, no, we'll go on to the 2024 rookie class. Um, this one's just full of hits, especially in the first round. Caleb Williams, I mean, probably would have liked to see him a little bit more right now, but like he's gonna be a starter on your fantasy team. Hit Marv at 2. I mean, hit. I think these two were probably consensus 1-2 going into it. The fact that 3-4 kind
Yep.
of outshine them kind of just speaks to like the strength of the class overall. Not really that bad. So, but Malik Neighbors at 3, absolute smash. Jaden Daniels at 4, even better. Romo Dunze at 5 had a rough rookie year, but we kind of could have seen that coming with what they had over there. And he's absolutely smashing now. Drake May, smash. JJ McCarthy, TBD. He's
Those
just hurt most of the time. Um, Bowers, smash. BTJ needs to remember how to catch a football, but smash. Lab McConkey, smash. Jonathan Brooks, I mean,
RIP.
RIP. Xavier Worthy, ah,
Surprising.
surprising hit, but
Yep.
like he's
I'd
like a
say.
better MVS in my mind. And then Bo Nix at 113 hit.
Yep.
Can't. This is where it kind of starts to get rough. The second round was kind of all over the place. Keon Coleman has his games, but I wouldn't really classify him as a hit.
He's
I
not
don't
going to
think.
be an alpha. Yeah.
Yeah. Trey Benson, TBD. We haven't really got to see him, but he got hurt the first time we got to see him, so that's kind of unfortunate. Penix for the 213. I mean, the patience paid off. Smash at
Yeah.
the 2-3, getting a starting quarterback. Ricky Pearsall. I mean, if you'd avoid getting shot, that'd be nice, but it's not always our fault. Ricky Pearsall. I'll count as a hit because it's 2-4, but like I need to see him actually
Yeah.
like play.
Yep.
Troy Franklin. Only reason Troy Franklin's a hit for Miguel is because he traded him for a first to Matt somehow. So that's the only reason that one's a win. Corum looks pretty meh. Xavier Leggett looks pretty meh.
Yeah.
AD Mitchell's dropping the ball before he gets to the end zone, so he's never playing again. Um,
Oh,
Roman Wilson has been pretty bad. I mean, they've thrown the ball a little bit more recently, but like not excited
oh,
about Roman Wilson at all. Jalen Wright had a handcuff season in it, but also has not looked great. Ben Sinnott, Zach Ertz is just
beat
eating
Zach
his
Ertz.
lunch.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, Zach Ertz is just bullying this man's
I was
life.
so high on Sonat, and I'm like, Earth just keeps coming back every year.
Dude, he just won't die.
Yeah.
Jalen Polk is terrible. Um, Bucky Irving, smash, win.
Yep.
3-1, big hit. Jermaine Burton needs to stay out of the casino, L. Malachi Corley, much better like gadget NFL player. You're not playing him in fantasy.
Yep.
Ray Davis, I guess he's a handcuff, but like a low end handcuff, and you really want him? Probably not.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler up until this week was a dub. Honestly, I'm gonna count Spencer Rattler as a win for
As
3-5.
as a third? Yeah, for
Like
sure.
getting a starting quarterback weeks out of a third round pick, just yeah, that's just a win.
Yep.
He doesn't look bad. I'm pretty sure he just won himself like a career backup job too. So
Yeah.
Jatavian Sanders, kind of L. I
I
don't know,
still
man.
like him.
I like him, I guess, but I'm not gonna say he's a win. He's probably worth a third still.
I'll trade for him. Who's got him now? Does Tatis still have him?
I have no idea. Probably. I mean, I guess he's still worth a third, so that's a win. But like, it's kind of a low
Yeah.
bar. Jalen McMillan broke his neck, so like, I don't know if I can really say anything.
He's
He looked
gone.
good at the end of last year. If he was playing this year, he definitely would be looking good. If he didn't break his neck in preseason, but TBD. Javon Baker's trash. Audric Estime's trash. Michael Lloyd. I don't know what's wrong with this man, but I don't think he's ever seen the field. Trash.
Oh,
Kamani Vidal. Dub at this point. You had to
a
wait
guy.
a while, but dub.
Yeah.
Cade Stover. I mean,
Oh,
312. Who cares? I mean, if you miss on the 312, it is what it is.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
Or
We had
top end draft. First
very
round
top
was
end
kind of a
draft.
hit. Yeah.
Like I think we had. I mean, McCarthy's a question mark, but like the only like miss I would say is like Jonathan Brooks, and that's just because he tore his knee again,
Yeah.
right? Like if you had a first round pick, like you just hit.
You're golden. Yeah.
But then the second round was just kind of really rough outside of Penix and Pearson. And then we saw some okay third round contribution, but very top heavy draft.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would you rather have Drake May or Justin Herbert right now?
Mm, I feel like they're just one of the same at this point.
Okay, well I basically paid what I got for May right after the draft with Jared to get Herbert. So
Yeah. I
it
mean,
seems like kind
I
of a
can't.
wash.
Same. Yeah.
So, but you know what? At least it. We'll see. I think Herbert definitely is a more proven commodity, but
Yeah. For sure.
May's team could get significantly better. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard to judge the next class. But I know you have strong convictions about at least one player in this class because you kind of traded all your 2028 picks to get him. Um,
Receiver one, maybe.
yep. I don't even know. I don't think he's wide receiver one in this class, but we can have that debate here in a minute.
Yeah.
Genty at one last year, I think is still just a win. I don't like. I don't know if we've seen enough from Genty to be like this dude's going to be the RB one, but also like dude's getting a ton of volume, and I doubt they draft a running back next year. So
Yeah. Easy win.
Cam Ward, dude, I'm not saying Cam Ward sucks, but that I don't think there could be a worse situation in the NFL than what Cam Ward is dealing with the Titans right
Yeah.
now. Like, I feel so bad. I'm just gonna say like I'm not writing him off because I like Cam Ward. I think he's a dog, but this is looking like he's getting thrown to the wolves, and there's no one coming to save him. So
I didn't think he'd have this bad of a season. I feel like Tay-Tay's been very unlucky with whoever he chooses at quarterback.
yeah.
It does feel very much so like Bill Williams pick basically at this point, where he's gonna have a
Oh, it's
crappy first season.
way worse than Caleb Williams experienced. This is like
Yeah,
borderline hate crime against Cam Ward.
yeah.
What the Titans
Because I
are doing
really
to
like
this man.
Cam Ward. I still think he's gonna be good.
I think he could
So
be. I
stay strong, Tay-Tay.
stay, Cam. He needs to find Cam Ward's mental strength. So,
Yeah,
Hampton before he got hurt, I think's a win. I mean, Hampton was getting more involved in the passing game. If he's Jim Harbaugh's guy, it's gonna be an absolute smash. Um, Travion Henderson, I don't know what's wrong. Like, I have no idea what's wrong with this guy, but I'd move him down at this point. Like,
yep. They miss right now, but like 2 3 year window, could obviously outplay.
I'm hoping so. He just hasn't looked. I mean, he had a couple splash plays last week, but like he just hasn't looked good in pass protection, which is really odd. Because I thought he did that well
You
at
can't
Ohio
play him
State.
if you can't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you like, he was literally out there. It looked like his controller broke on one of his pass protection plays. And I was like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, come on. Um,
Then he lost his snaps to Ramondre the last 2 weeks
who keeps
because of
fumbling
it.
the ball? So like that has to
Exactly.
speak volumes, right? Like he can't.
Yeah.
This guy can't hold on to the ball, and you can't get him off the field.
Yeah.
Um, maybe we'll see a change in the back half of the season, but like, I, I don't know where that's coming from. Um, Travis Hunter at 5. TBD. I think he just needs to commit to playing wide receiver.
That's kind of why I didn't have. That's why I had Ted as my wide receiver one in the class, because if a guy is gonna play any, like if I know he's only gonna play even 75% of snaps at an offense, like it's not a guy I can have as number one. I think he has the highest upside, but again, I can't have a guy playing defense even 5 snaps a game
Right.
and only play wide receiver 75% of the time.
He's got to be out there 100%. I think
Yeah,
we'll see more of him this week just because BTJs are going to be out. So I don't know. Maybe BTJ's back after the bye, but he looked pretty beat up last game. So we'll see.
I think
Regardless,
he'll
I
be
think he
back.
needs to
It
play
didn't
more
seem.
offense. Um,
Yep,
Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren's a stud. Good pick at 6.
yep, good pick.
Tet McMillan. He traded up to get Tet. Tet's a dub. Um,
Yep,
Igbuka at 8 is an absolute win. Like this dude's absolutely lighting it off. He would be my.
yeah, great
I'd
pick.
rather have Igbuka over Tet, but
I would say yeah, I would agree with that actually.
I think it. I don't think it's like a super far gap. I think it's Tet and
Oh,
Ibuka and then Hunter in a different tier.
yes,
So Judkins at 9. Judkins some rough off the field issues to start allegedly, but looking pretty decent right now. RJ Harvey looked better last week. He's getting more
yeah,
opportunity share. I just am concerned J.K. Dobbins is just a professional running back, and he's gonna be hard to get off the field.
he is, and I mean, with their offense, they feel like they can feed 2 running backs, so it's
Which
at
is
the
like a
very
valid
least,
excuse for Harvey to not be getting touches. What is not a valid excuse is for Caleb Johnson to be beat out by Kenny Gainwell and, and Jalen Warren.
yeah,
Like, dude, like if you're a dog, you gotta beat those two out. I mean, it's Arthur
yeah,
Smith, so like I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. But like, dude, you couldn't get on the field. They let Kenny Gainwell get almost 100% of the touches that game. You can come on, dude. Like, what are we
yeah.
doing?
Arthur Smith hates rookie running backs,
He
and
did the same thing
then
to Bijan. Like, what are you doing?
yeah, exactly. Then
I,
on top of that, like do what he did in the first couple weeks, like and fumble, and it's just like he's not doing himself any favors, so he just plummeted on it. He's gonna be like a Keandre Miller type career at this point if he
if he can get
keeps
on
it
the
up, where
field.
he's just gonna get buried. Yeah, can't get on the field because his coaches don't hate him, don't like him at this point.
Yeah. Dart at 12. I think Dart's all right. Um,
Yeah,
I think he's a little
he's my QB
riding
too.
some hype here, but yeah, like he's a first round quarterback. You got to take him here.
Mm,
I think he's going to struggle the next couple weeks because he's got nothing left, but I'm not really going to put that on him. Um,
yeah,
Loveland at 113. It's fine.
TBD.
I think I brought this up prior, but like Cole Kmet's like a good enough in real life tight end to like limit his snaps, and that is like kind of a big deal for tight ends. So he won't be there next year, but for this season, I kind of was expecting it to be rough. Um,
Yep.
Matthew Golden, it looks pretty all right, but he's just kind of getting the Packers wide receiver syndrome of the
Yep.
17.5% target share over the season. It just drives everyone insane. Um,
He was like my wide receiver 12, so I'd say that's an L.
yeah, you're, you think, wait, in this draft, he's your wide receiver 12.
He was so far down my list.
Really? If he wasn't
Yep.
going to anywhere other than Green Bay, dude, I had him at wide receiver one. Like,
Really?
yes, dude,
I
that
had
dude,
him so low.
he's so shifty, bro. Like, this dude can move. I just, when he went to the Packers, I knew he's going to get just the curse of every other Packers wide receiver, but also, like, I can't cheer for anyone of the Packers, so he was just undraftable.
That
Um,
too. Yeah, I don't take any Packer players
yeah,
off my roster.
yeah. Luther Burden, TBD. We'll see what happens when
Yeah,
DJ Moore leaves. Trey Harris, I think same thing. See what happens when Keenan Allen leaves. Jaden Haynes, I think there's just too many guys in Houston. So like he showed out a little bit, but like he's gonna have to like take the role of the number two because they have like four guys rotating in as the number two. It's really annoying.
yeah.
Cam Scadaboo, 205, pour one out.
After getting
Um,
injured.
his career flashed hot and bright. I'm
Yeah,
praying he can get back, but that was
yeah,
nasty, dude. That made me like gag.
yeah.
That was bad. That one hurt, dude.
I can't tell that. I feel like that's better, like a better energy injury to have rather than like your knee doing that though. I
Dude,
can't
if
tell for
any
running
joint in your
backs.
body's doing that, I think that just is, especially in your lower half, like, oh my
Yeah, that's
God,
true.
dude. Like, especially your running back. Oh, oh, dude. So, pour one out for Scadaboo. I'll count him as a win just because he probably would have been pretty decent, but we'll see how he comes back from this. Um, Kyle Williams, dude, I thought he was going to come in and smash right away. There's no one else there. I don't know what's
But
going on.
I was so sad when you stole him from me.
Yeah, dude, I loved him out of college. Loved him out of Washington State. He was huge.
Great
Um,
analytics.
yeah, but maybe he turns it around. I don't know. I don't think we've seen him do
I
enough to
couldn't
say
believe
it's
he
real.
got outplayed by Booty. I was like,
I think
okay,
they
he's
play
got to be at
different.
least wide receiver 3.
I think they play with different positions. I think Booty's just that X you throw on the outside and just throw him jump balls. I don't think Kyle Williams that guy.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll see. Maybe he can come on stronger too. Yeah. Um, Michelle Tootin. I like Tootin still. I think 207's fine. I just ETN. I don't know why you hated this one, but like ETN's a good running back in the NFL, and a rookie, especially like a later round guy like that's not just going to come in and just like take this dude's lunch.
no, always
So
a handcuff.
good handcuff, and if something happens to ETN, I think his value's high. But I also just like I don't know how high his value gets. He looks okay. He just doesn't look like a world breaker to me. If he's out there.
Yep.
Um, Jalen Milrow. I don't think we're going to get to see Jalen Milrow anytime soon, which is probably good for Jalen Milrow. So I'm going to throw the TBD on this. Um,
Yeah,
great
Inbound's been
kid.
surprisingly good.
Yeah, great kid. Darnold's looking good. I think it's good for him to sit and develop and not have to play. He's a guy that needs work, but has the physical tools to do it. And seems like he has a way better attitude than Anthony Richardson. So
Very
if
true.
if he can commit to it, it's going to take some time. But the dude, he is one hell of an athlete. Um, Shadur Sanders, dude, if you can't beat out Dylan Gabriel, I think you're just bad. Um, I don't think we see. Maybe we see Shadur in some garbage time later in the season.
Well, yeah.
I don't expect it to be good. Um, yeah, Jack Besh, dude. I think the Raiders are just absolutely terrible, but there's absolutely no receivers out there, and he's not doing much. So,
Oh, yeah. He's basically a dud at this point, like you said. If all the receivers are gone and he still can't get a decent target share,
like
then
Jacoby Myers is even out, dude. Like, come on,
yeah,
Trey Tucker's
exactly.
taking your job. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Mason Taylor, good pick at 211. I mean, he looks to be like a really good tight end. I thought he was going to be. I didn't think he'd be this involved in the passing game, but I could understand like the hype around Taylor because his dad was a pro, pretty good athlete. I think he's a really good blocker. Um, yeah, we'll just have to see. I mean, there's no one else on the Jets that's going to take any targets away from him, so I just don't think his targets are great with Fields or Tyrod throwing the ball. So Um, Jalen Noel, same thing with Jaden Higgins. Like, there's just too many guys there. 1 week it's Higgins, 1 week it's gonna be Noel, the other week's gonna be Christian Kirk, next week Xavier Hutchinson. Like, it's gonna be one of these guys. So, um, Jordan James, L, Jalen Royals. I don't know how Jalen Royals couldn't get on the field. I loved him coming out of Utah State. I thought it was a good pick.
Yeah.
And then when they had nobody, he couldn't get on the field. So I don't know if Andy Reid just hates rookies, but we should have seen him already. Um, Jaden Blue is just TBD. We haven't really got to see enough of him to like make a judgment. But like if he gets to play, and if Javante holds out the whole season, that'll be more surprising that he doesn't miss a game. So, but we'll see. Alec Manor, I mean, he's playing. He's looking all right. The points
Yeah.
aren't there, but like the
Win
Titans
for a
just
third
suck.
round pick.
Yeah, win for a third round pick. Will Howard, I don't know if he makes. He's
Is
just
that a
probably
homer
just
pick?
he's probably just Kyle Trask, dude. Probably a homer pick,
Yeah.
like just kind of the backup QB. Brosmer probably has a much better start chance of playing games before Will Howard does. So if that says anything.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Ferguson, he's okay. I just they haven't had a ton, and he should have been able to make an impact already. Terrence Ferguson,
Yeah, he started injured a little bit
y-
during training camp in the first couple games, so
yeah, and he's still getting kind
start
of
slow.
benched by like, dude, it's just
It's
frustrating.
tough for tight ends. Tight
Yeah,
ends are tough to pick.
especially coming out
Um,
early. Like Higbee's just
yeah,
holding him off the field, which is
yeah,
unfortunate. Um, Harold Fannin, absolute smash at 3. Oh my gosh,
yeah, great pick.
he's. I was skeptical of his production coming out of Bowling Green, but he looked good, and I just didn't think Cleveland was going to do anything. And Njoku was there. I thought he'd have to at least sit, but they're getting him all over the field. He caught a touchdown from fullback this week, so
Yeah,
big
some
win.
dudes can just ball.
Yeah, can't. Sometimes they're just balling. So
Yep.
the next guy is
The
going to
lad
be the
in the
next manager at
Cockney
Chili's,
rule.
Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
We're going to see him get absolutely demolished this week. So see how that goes for him. Saints are aiming for the first overall pick this year. So
Yep. We
if
kind of
you're
knew that.
if you are a quarterback in the NCAA and you're thinking about going to the league, just stay another year. Take an NIL deal because you do not have to go to New Orleans and suffer. Um, Dylan Sampson. After that, that's good. Couple good weeks. A good handcuff pick for Hoagie, having
Yep.
Judkins and Sampson. So that's good. Um, Elijah Arroyo is kind of getting just put off the field by AJ Barner because he's just a good NFL tight end. So
Mm.
Isaac Tesla, dude's just lightning in a bottle. Some games catches a random cool touchdown. He looks super athletic, but like there's zero volume for him. Jarquez Hunter, I liked Hunter, but he's kind of the same thing as Corum and Zach Evans at this point. So I'm just not convinced. I'm picking a running back that gets drafted to the Rams ever again. Um, but yeah, so I think how I want to end this conversation with you, Justin, is do you think we give up on players too early?
When you
Because
say we, do you mean me or like community in general?
I would say like the community in general, but also like I mean, we just talked about this draft. Like, there's guys we just said are trash that like we probably would have said the same thing about some of these guys. Like earlier, like Khalil Shakir, we'd be like, yeah, that dude's trash. Um, I, Trey McBride, we could have been like, oh, that dude's bad. Rashad White, he's not going to get to play. And maybe we're just looking at it from, I mean, all the information that we have, right? But I think in general we give up on people too early. But I also think there's a fair skepticism to like for a reason to give up on a lot of guys.
Yeah. I would agree. I'd say people do tend to give up early because if you're drafting a rookie, even in like the first, second round, you're expecting like, hey, they don't have a ETJ type season or a Mbuka type season. Like, why did I draft him? I gotta get rid of him while they still have any type of value, right? But like second, third year is usually like breakout year, right? For most, you think about wide receivers, running backs can be hit or miss with handcuffs and stuff, but yeah, I would say people do tend to give up early versus looking at like what was blocking them versus um, like opportunity, like we talked about earlier. Like if you know, like you said, Cole Kmet gonna be gone next year. Like Loveland's not gonna produce this year, but if you look at year 2, year 3, give them a chance then, and then make your decision on what you think their value's at. Because you never want to be caught holding someone with value, and then stuck with Ezekiel Elliott in year 13, right? But
Stuck with Will Levis,
yeah, there you go.
right? Like he could have been flipped, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think I just pulled the trigger on Kenny Pickett at the right time to get rid of him for what I paid, and sometimes you just got to get out even if
Yeah.
maybe even 80 cents on the dollar. I'd rather get 80 cents than zero,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes guys
I think a
just
lot of it's draft capital too. Like if you're taking a 7th round running back, like you look at the probability of them with any type of longevity in terms of career or staying as like a number 1 running back in the league, it's very
flash in the
low. So
pan a lot of the time.
yeah, exactly. Like Tyrone Tracy, it's like, oh, drafted in the 6th round or wherever he was,
But now
and
he's back.
running back 1, and it's like, oh, not yet. Now he's back, but it's like, oh, then they go like very often you go and draft if it even's like a 7th round um, rookie who played well for him last year, got 1,000 yards. They go and then draft another running back in the 3rd, 5th round. Like it doesn't stop them. They haven't invested any real capital into them.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is like guys with higher draft capital, like the Brees Halls, the Bijan Robinsons. Like if even if they do pick like a guy behind them, like dude, if they went like, but at a certain point, draft capital doesn't matter. Right? Like A Chain was the third round pick. Like
Mhm.
A Chain, if they go draft somebody like Ollie Gordon, like I don't even care about that guy. Like I know A Chain is gonna be A Chain. Like I know Bijan's
Yep.
gonna be Bijan. I know Gibbs is gonna be Gibbs even with Monty there. Like if Monty's gone and they draft somebody, Gibbs is still gonna be Gibbs. But like
Mhm.
even like we saw Rashad White have a really good year. I mean, he wasn't very efficient, but like he got replaced. Like there's a very fine line of like studs versus opportunity value.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's also hard to draw the line of who's a
It's
stud
hard.
to the
Yeah, it's hard to.
opportunity value, like where that line
Yeah.
starts.
Yep. Because I mean, if I knew, right, I would trade every guy, trade for and trade away every guy that I knew was going to fall off a cliff or pop off next year, right? But yeah, it's tough to, like you said, it's hard to find opportunity plus talent on a team. Go after those guys.
Yeah, and I think running back is definitely the most fragile position to do that with for sure.
Yeah, it is. As you can see, that's why I don't build my roster around running backs.
Yeah, the elite stable of running backs you have over there.
But Vidal and Chase Brown,
Yeah.
my 5 running backs.
Yeah. So, anything you wanna before we get into the matchups of the week, the Wesley's locks? Anything you want to add? Anybody you want to shit talk?
Oh, if anyone wants to shit talk me, let me have it. Um, no, I think it was good to just kind of get on and let everyone know kind of my philosophy. And I will say on in terms of trades I send out too, I think you had mentioned it in a podcast a few weeks ago, but I tend to draft crushes because I do so much homework on guys. So then when I finally get him on my roster, I'm just like, this is the guy. Even if it's like Terry, right? Where like he's an amazing like real life wide receiver, but in terms of fantasy, he's a low end wide receiver too. Um, I tend to get draft crushes and then base my value off of that sometimes versus real life value.
I think if they're on your team at this point, Justin, you have a draft crush on them. So it's hard to
Yeah,
find guys in your
exactly.
roster that you're willing to like. I would say move at like market value, like not at like
Yeah,
at a discount, but like to that 90 to 110% of like what my value in my head is.
yeah,
Because
that's
I'll send you
entirely valid.
something and I'm like, oh, this is like pretty even. You come back with something that's like 200% off. I'm like, dude, where did you even get this?
Yeah,
So, I mean,
I'm fully aware of my prejudice,
is
so
is that a
that's why
prejudice you're trying to adjust, or is that something you're riding with?
it is something I'm trying to because I'm in a few other leagues too, and working, kind of trying to do the opposite too in terms of like collect draft picks and stuff. So I'm because in this right, I'm just kind of trading draft picks away. So I've only got one side of the story in terms of take my draft picks, I'll take the player type of thing. So finding somewhere in between where like where I value picks plus players.
So are you ever interested when someone sends you a trade with picks back to you?
Uh,
Like, how do you value picks in a trade?
yes,
Like, if it's a guy you like, let's just take Terry, right? Like, say Terry 2 years ago. I feel like you had like a 3 first draft grade on him, and like if someone sent you two, you'd say no. And I feel like that's kind of ridiculous. But where do you value, like, obviously, like, you trade away all your picks, like, have they grown in value in your mind of like on the other side, like coming back to you?
I'd say yes because I am more willing to just trade away a guy for picks at this point. Um, Depending on like where I am in the season, right? Because generally I've been competing for a year. Uh, so I mean, if I end up getting like Lamar and Kyler hurt at the end of the season, like probably not competing. So I'd be more willing to obviously trade uh more of my guys away for picks when we get to like playoffs and stuff like that. But I'd say yeah, I'm leaning more into towards like actually having picks. Um, I say that now and then I get a crush on another Tet and send them all away. But
uh, it makes it fun though. So I was just
yeah,
interested. I feel like I don't even try to send you trades that involve picks going back to you because I just feel like
mm,
you don't care. So hey, you guys heard it here first. Justin is open to receiving picks in a trade. Usually it's the other way around. So yeah, I think it was a good conversation. I really like just kind of looking back on it. Especially because you and I have really different philosophies of making these picks, and obviously you can see the amount of picks I've made versus the picks you've made.
right.
But it's nice to hear that maybe turning a new leaf as a
It
dynasty
is,
manager.
yeah.
That's what
I'm the team's getting older, into the waning years of some of my studs. So yeah, I'll be looking at some more picks coming up this year, next year, the year after.
that's what the pod's about. It's about character growth, learning about other people's
Exactly.
strategies. So you guys, I want to see if Justin can make a trade for a pick in the next 3 weeks before, or actually before the trade deadline. If I see it, my heart might stop. So, um,
Good.
yeah. But yeah, we'll move on to Wesley's locks. I mean, we've been chatting for like an hour already, so yeah, hour 2 minutes. We're right on time. But yeah, so last week Wesley hit five, Miguel only hit three, so that's unfortunate.
Oh my god, come on,
So
man.
Wesley's taken back the lead by one. So we have a pretty. There's some okay matchups this week. I think it would be a little more interesting if some players weren't on by, but I'll start off
Yeah.
with this one. The Plano Aussies versus the Hudson Horn Dogs. Wesley's taking the Aussies as he has every single week this season. Um, you call him the underdog shot or no?
I am not. Nope. Lino
Okay.
Aussies for me.
And then this matchup I think would be more interesting if Saquon was not on bye. But the
Yeah.
Pipsqueaks versus the Miracle Makers. I like genuinely believe if he has Judkins and Barkley, like this is a coin toss 50-50.
I feel like this is actually closer than it looks because I think Drake London, who's not starting right now,
And
and
Nico. Drake London and Nico are
Nico
out. But
will
they're all,
slide into that flex spot.
yeah,
Because he has Luke McCaffrey in there right now, so I'm not gonna.
but
Um,
I'd rather have Saquon than David Montgomery as my RB.
yeah, that's true. But I do think he'll have two better flex options. I think they'll both play, to be honest. I think it's closer than it looks on paper. I think the real uh, wild card is gonna be Tua. Can he throw for touchdowns again, or will he revert back to closing his eyes and throwing to the other team?
Yeah, we'll see.
But
Wesley's taking the Pipsqueaks, so he's going to take the underdog.
I'm gonna go with me, considering I have Luka, Lamar, right back.
Hopefully, riding back. So Jim Harbaugh said last week.
Yeah, exactly.
um, and then this one, I think, I mean, might be close, but shouldn't be close. But the Cobras versus the Rangers.
Yeah, for whatever reason, this looks close, but maybe Tyrone Tracy with his job back.
I'd be
Yeah, I'm
shocked
gonna
if Tyrone
go.
Tracy's on this roster at this point. But
Yeah, yeah, get that. that guy. You might as well trade him to me.
I don't think you have
I
any
need a running
picks,
back. True.
but
It's gotta be a four team deal.
4 team deal. Yeah, you gotta get
Yeah.
Isaac involved
Yeah,
just for
exactly.
the liquid.
Uh,
Isaac's become the bank of picks.
yeah. He's like, oh, I need a pick. I'll use Isaac as my loan officer. Um, yeah, I'll go Miguel and Josh Allen this week.
I think Josh Allen might outscore the entire Rangers roster, but yeah, I agree.
It's
Going the
possible.
Cobras. Um, then we have the Half-Swing Slashers versus the Timber Goats. Wesley's going with the Slashers.
Yeah. I
You
am leaning that way as well.
I think it's just unfortunate that Jerry Judy is just like in purgatory.
Just like, and like his route running is actually really clean. He just can't
He's no way throwing the
put it
ball.
all together.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I feel bad for the guy,
But yeah,
but
yeah, I'll take Matt as well. Ashton Slasher
fair. This is
from
probably
SpongeBob, just so everyone knows.
this is probably
That was
the
crazy.
best matchup of the week. We have the Love Boats versus the Bitch Pigeons.
On by, even though he put up a dud last week. Aiden should be back.
Wes is going with the Love Boats. He's taking his cousin. See how it goes.
Brian Thomas Jr. should be back.
Jaden Daniels should be back.
Yeah, he should be back. He said he was already practicing.
This is probably the closest matchup. Kamara's going to get like a full workload versus the Rams too.
Like,
So
and then they just have like random wild cards, like Coleman and Charbonnet at the flex spots.
yeah,
Alvin Austin in there.
but the Bitch Pigeons don't have a second quarterback. They have Devontae Adams in the super flex.
Yeah, and then
Or
Dobbs
Alec
in
Manor,
there.
because Alec Manor's playing.
Yeah, it's like I keep naming players I don't like.
BTJ might
So I'm
replace him though, but I don't know if BTJ plays this week.
yeah. But then it's like you replace Manor or Dobbs, and two
Yeah.
great options. Yeah, I'll go with the love boats as well.
All right, and then the last matchup of the week, we have this is also pretty. I think gonna be a close one. We have the
Mhm.
TC Rejects versus the St. Paul Slammers.
How's RJ Harvey projected 6 points? Because he only plays 30% of snaps.
But
Um,
they also might not have the Rejects might not have a quarterback this week, as Marcus Mariota's not playing. Bryce Young's out. I don't know if Bryce Young comes back. Jalen Hurts is on bye. He could play Andy Dalton if he does not have Bryce Young, but we also saw what happened with Andy Dalton last week, so I don't know if that's a good choice.
yeah, Ed had all the receiving yards that week. He didn't hurt anyone else.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, he's got a lot of people on bye. Yeah, Mariota actually looked surprisingly good against the Chiefs the first half at least. I'm also gonna go Tay. I think he gets a win.
Going Slammers. All right, so
Yep.
we have one difference. It's going to come down to your and Hoagie's matchup this week. Tips Geeks versus
Yeah.
Miracle Makers. So, Hoagie, I'm hoping you can clutch this one out.
You know what to do, Hoagie. You know what to do.
The best you guys can do is
$5 in
get even.
Venmo heading your way.
Hoagie needs a win after what happened to him last week.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, well, dude, it was a good episode. I appreciate anyone who's still listening to this an hour and 10 minutes in. But you want to leave the people with anything?
Oh, just send me some trades. If my team falls apart, I'll sell my entire team at the trade deadline. So everyone who's been stashing picks can send them all my way.
I don't think Isaac's gonna get enough wins to compete, so we'll see. But
You never know.
yeah, well, everybody, thank you for listening to this. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Happy drive on your way to work. Thanks for listening this far. Have a great rest of your day, and appreciate you guys. Thanks, Justin.